Oh, well, maybe this time, huh? Just maybe this time. Okay. Looks like it finally went. So now we'll just hang out here a minute. I know. Anything else? Excuse my language. Yeah, well, I know it went live anyhow. Yeah. Yep, you see the name I gave it, right? And of course, the picture's a little big. I'll have to change the settings on that. I'm not going to do that now. Mm-mm. Okay, dumped. That's right. It's got a picture of a hammer come down on the heart. That's right. And in today's world, you approach somebody, try to meet them, or try to get a date. For most guys, are in TFL situation, the hammer came down on them before they ever got anywhere. uh, and for people who get lucky and get a date, the majority of the people in today's society don't even know what they're doing. And so what happens? Right here. People in today's society don't think real love exists. And real love does exist, but the foundation, all the things that lead to real love, have been completely corrupted. Everything that's been taught to you as people ask backwards. Okay? It's designed to destroy. They say move on to the people who had a female in their life. Okay? They always tell you, you gotta move on. Yeah, move on, move on. You know what move on is really about? I'll tell you what moving on is really about. Moving on is really about not having to look back at the damage you did to the person you just crapped on. Excuse my language. That's right. That's what moving on is about. Move on to your next and tear them up. Move on to your next and tear them up. And then when you're all said and done, oh, well, she's taking herself off the dating market now. That's right. She don't want to be with anybody. She wants to stay alone, and she wants the kids she had from the guy she was with to be there to take care of her as she gets old. Meanwhile, where's Dad? Oh, well, he's out of the picture. And then we got the guys who think that, oh, well, that's no big deal, man. Moving on, yeah. It's all about moving on. It's all about getting laid, man. It's all about putting it in a hole. Yeah. It's all usury. And what do the women do it? Oh, that's right, all usury. And then we wonder why what's going down in society is going down. See, we wonder why there's an epidemic of TFL. Where did incel come from? Out of a university. What's the problem with incel men? The same problem TFLers have, with the exception of TFL is not about getting laid. Okay? Where incel is based on not being able to get sex, which is completely nuts. Okay? Well, in today's world, guy, I'm with you, Grim. My own opinion, in today's world, you shouldn't be bringing children into the world, because with what's getting ready to come down the pikes, this is one of the reasons it's able to come down the pikes. Because they've divided everybody up so perfectly. They got all the genders divided. They got the races divided. They got you divided on the workplace. They got you divided by the tool that's enslaving you, that's going to get you dead. I don't watch anybody attacking the tool the way I do, because what I'm telling you about the tool is the exact truth. The people who's doing all the corruption to you, the people who has instigated and started and financed every single war, the people who gave you the invisible bug, are all one and the same. It's the same faces, same groups of people. Some, we got the hidden, right? Well, all you got to do is follow the trail up, and you get to the Rothschilds and the bloodlines, and you don't really need to go any further, because that's where it goes. It goes right to Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the Queen, the bloodlines. This is where it goes. Every time you track it, it all goes there. That's because them are the people doing it to you. That's right. They're responsible for this through many years of social engineering with Hollywood and your music and gender roles and on and on and on that list goes. You know, most people don't even understand what the hell they're doing, so it's really hard to tell them because they have no experience in real life. Not when it comes to their opposite gender, but then they can't be blamed. They can't be totally blamed. No. They grew up like everybody else in an education system that attacked men, a television set that attacked men, music that put women up and put men down. That's right. Double standards everywhere. Okay? No lie. And when I say television set, I'm talking about Hollywood. I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about sitcoms, talk shows, the whole nine smell. The war was literally against men for the last 40 plus years. And the division of the genders. That's really what was going on. So I don't know what to tell you, man, other than our behaviors is the reason. And the reason you're suggested to move on when the female throws you away like a hamburger wrapper. When she's done using you now, she done eat you all up your cheeseburger from McDonald's or something. And you're the rapper, by the way. When she's done using you all up and she throws you away, and she done spent tough time with you, and you became good friends, you were very compatible, and you got along, and you fell in love with her. Didn't matter how much you loved her. When she was done using you, she'd just crumble you up and throw you away like a rubber. That's what she'll do. She'll crumble you up, throw you away like a rubber, and guess what? You move on. You know why you move on? Because she don't got to look back to see the damage she left behind. She don't got to take responsibility for her behavior. No, not at all. And what does that do? That keeps the family unit broke up and keeps selfishness going. What does that do? Well, that's all part of cremation of care and feminism and Hollywood, many programs that went into it. But you know what that does for them? Helps them with population reduction. That's right. Makes you weak. That's right. Makes you weak. You're unable to focus in on what's going on around you. Most incels or TFLers don't really give a crap what's going on. They have no reason to give a crap. They really don't. They have no reason to care. What reason to care would they have? I mean, that's really what we're talking about here. What kind of care would they really have? See, the cremation care is quite real. People's care nowadays is about their own selfishness, men and women alike. That's correct. We're just toilet paper. We're just useless eaters and feeders. We're cattle. We're sheep. We're pigs. That's right. We're the herd. Hey, all of them fit in because that's what we are. And the division between the genders was deliberately created for an agenda. And that agenda has started. It's playing in your face. It started in 2020. It's not going nowhere. It really isn't. I can't even talk about that on this stream. They'll throw this stream right off. Never mind. I'll change the topic. What I was going to say. Oh, no, they just throw this thing right on off, man. They call that censorship. They're called the truth. The truth hurts criminals. Yep, the truth hurts criminals and scum. But that I wanted to come up here and I wanted to do this here on the dating scene topic again because the dating scene topic is one of the major reasons where we're at in the world as well. Most people that are awake, like in the truthers community, most of them are hypocrites. Most of them ain't even totally awake. Most of them think they're at this high level of awakeness while they're striving to make the tool that's owned by the people doing this for you, which means they're holding the hand of their enemy. thinking somehow they're going to beat their enemy by holding their hand. Because you're in the matrix. That's right. You got to fit right on in there. I mean, you got to work for the tool, money, right? Because without it, you can't have food, you can't have shelter, can't have anything. It'd be hard to live, right? Right. And most of the truther community, not all of them, but most of them are hypocrites. They're here for pretend fame. Okay? They're egomaniacs. And they don't think the dating scene has anything to do with NWO. But I got a news flash for them. The dating scene has a lot to do with NWO, okay? I see who the heck's doing that. Well, they can just quit that. Nope, I ain't got time to talk to you right now. Anyhow, you got Dorian on the back, though. That's because I'm being pestered. But anyhow. Yeah, most of them can't even see the fact that the dating scene is the core of NWO. If NWO was an apple or a pear, it has a core. And how did the dating scene, why would the dating scene even be the core of it? Because it affects every single man and woman. And that's a big number. That's the biggest number of all. That's all the people worldwide. It causes less births. It causes fighting amongst the genders and a breakup of the family, which causes people to become weak. People lose care, the cremation of care. Why do they care what's going on around them? When a guy went out there and did everything he could do, and all these double standards was laid on him, and he was rejected in 1 to 5 seconds, and he done everything that everybody told him, and he still gets blamed. That's right. He's a loser. He just needs confidence. Oh, we can give you all the million reasons. They're all lies, all garbage. Nobody wants to look for the reality. Because if people started looking for the reality of what's going on, oh, that'd scare them, right? And then, of course, a lot of people want to wrap their minds around it because, women ain't going to want to wrap their minds around it and change their behavior. And the truther community, they don't want to change their behavior. They're all going to say there ain't nothing wrong with me. Okay, hold on. We all grew up on the same planet. We all grew up with the same social engineering. Don't believe me? Look around you. Go to Australia and look around you. Go to the United Kingdom, look around you. Go to Ireland, look around you. Go to Canada, look around you. Go to the United States, look around you. Do I need to go on? Look around you. Go to Japan, look around you. You're going to see the same social engineering globally because it's all an agenda. It's not an accident. It's not normal behaviors. And meanwhile, the people that are awake are up here telling you they'll go to Patreon to watch the rest. Yep, they're going to tell you this much of truth. And you got to be careful with that because they might be telling you BS at the same time mixing the truth. And then they're going to cut it off and not finish the topic because you need to go to Patreon. Why? So they can hold on to their enemy's hand that's doing this to them. They just don't get it. The last person who talked about going after your real enemy got himself dead. He was going to give the monetary system back to the people of the United States. His name was JFK. He was in a position to do it. What do you think got him dead? That the monetary system is your money, that is the control. That is the root. It's not the money within itself, it's the system, the establishment, the way it was set up. Without it, you can't live. And greed. Oh, yes. Greed, power, and ego. The three things that absolutely corrupt the human mind. Yep, so I show a hammer coming down on a heart. Okay? And the word, because I'll have to change the settings on this because, well, I'll tell you a little story short. I'm not on my normal PC. I'm on the one I retired about 5 years ago. Yesterday I plugged in an HDMI cord and crashed my graphic card. Don't make any damn sense. I've got it in a shop because I can do everything. I can put Windows and everything back in, but when it comes to the BIOS, Even if I reinstall it and it's the BIOS, you're going to have the same issue. And I was talking to somebody and I find out what happened was the BIOS need reset and the graphic card needs updated. And the BIOS most likely are what caused the problem. So it's in the shop. I'll have it back tomorrow. But I have a backup, so I went and got my backup. And I'm up here on my backup. And I haven't been on this computer in like 5 years, huh? I had to put the OBS studio on this computer. I'd fucking do all the settings. I'd do everything. And the picture's a little too big. I need to change settings on the OBS studio, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay? We have to live with what you're seeing. Okay, that said dump her. Why did I have the dump her? Well, it fits with MGTOW. It fits in. Okay? It fits into the division. Most of the time it's the her dumping him. Just, But I figured it should be asked backwards because everything else in society is asked backwards, excuse my language. Everything's upside down in his head. Evil's considered good. People yell and scream at you, don't lie to me if they're lying to you. Everybody says they want the truth, but nobody wants the truth because when you tell them the truth, it offends them. People have lost remorse. Yeah, part of care. When you do something that hurts the person you love, and most of the time it's the people we love. There's no saying the people you love are the people you need to treat the best and hold on to because you're not going to have too many people that are ever going to love you in your life. Whether you're a man or a woman, because see, sex isn't love. And for guys who've been with a girl for any length of time and the girl just decides to throw them away like a cheeseburger, the wrapper, that's why she moved on. So she didn't have to see the damage she left behind. That is the reason the word move on was originally created. I could understand if it was somebody that just kept going out and cheating or beating you or whatever, but then you're not going to be in love with somebody like that unless you're a nut job already. Because love is built. That's right. Love don't just fucking, love isn't lust, man. You look at it and say, oh, I'm in love. No, you're not. You're in lust. No, you're not. You're in lust. Love is built. Love only happens when a female and a male come together and become friends and they're very compatible. And they do everything together and pretty soon they fall in love with each other. And that love is real. And the longer they're together, the deeper that love becomes. But now imagine being with somebody for 10, 15 years and having that person you love start talking down to you, belittling you, treating you lower than crap. If this is female. Yep, sometimes it's a male. Okay? And think you're supposed to think with their brain, pick out stuff to make blah, 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 blah. Although most divorces are filed by females, not males. So what does that tell you? Tells you a lot, don't it? Uh-huh. Most of the time, the guy actually didn't do a fucking thing, excuse my language. Most of the time, the guy isn't the cheater Hollywood told you. Not in these relationships, It's the girl, the woman. Why is it? Because people don't respect each other anymore. Okay? Guys think if they could get into that married woman's pants that he's somehow better than the husband. That he's a better man. Boy of a man. Yep, that's what they think. Brainwashed fools. And she don't have no remorse or care because cremation of care. She hates to think about her own wrongs because then she would feel bad. She would feel depressed that she's done something like this. So the best way to not have to see her damage is just don't have no care and move on. That way, when you destroy a human's life, you don't have to witness what you just done to them. Of course, if it comes back on you, and you created your very own killer, oh, poor her. Oh. Now, do you understand what I'm saying? Media has done a wonderful job when a guy gets his penis cut off, whether it's a psyop or real. They turned it into entertainment. It was funny. Ha 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 ha. That's right. Well, these double standards. What did you think that did to your society? You wonder why people won't stand up what's going on now? And you know why what's going on now is going to get worse? Because it's an agenda. It is NWO. Always has been, always will be. And by the time the majority realize that people like me haven't been up here lying to them, the majority, well, it would be too late for all of us. They're going to drag you right off the cliff, they're going to fall to your death and land on the jagged rocks. Meanwhile, you won't stop to think about what you're doing to one another. See, true love takes work from both people. We all make mistakes, but when you make a mistake and hurt somebody you love, you have to examine yourself and say, okay, let me see, I done this, and they're mad, they're hurt, they're upset. Why would they be hurt and upset when I done this? So then you have to think about yourself. What if what you done, she had done to you? How would you feel? Well, I don't want to do that. If I had to do that, I'd be depressed. Well, no, if you had to do that, that means you might find if you had a heart and you had real feelings and you had real care, you would feel remorse. Yes, a normal feeling you're supposed to feel. Because that remorse will keep you in check and allow you to become a better person and allow your love to grow. Okay, but most people in today's society, they don't even know what remorse is. Because they just plainly don't care. I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is, and then you look around and you wonder why everybody's so divided. You ever watch these First Amendment auditors, all these people freaking out over somebody holding a camera in their hand? Meanwhile, they'll be in this building, it's got cameras pointing at them everywhere, man. The stoplights have cameras, the poles have cameras. Can't get into any convenience store, any manufacturing, anything and everywhere. Work at a place, they got cameras. That's right. All the street lights got cameras. The grocery stores do. Everywhere you go, there's cameras everywhere. But some guy or some gal is walking down the street with a telephone on a pole or a camcorder on a pole, you know. And what happens? Oh no! They're armed with a deadly camera! Call the police! And then you actually expect that we're going to be able to fight back? Wow. Just wow. Unreal. You know, I lived TFL myself for 28 years. Okay? And the gal I met, that's my son's mother, I knew her for 4 years before she asked me out. Okay? At that time in our life, many years back, she was too young to be with. Didn't know who she was when I first met her. Okay? Didn't even pay no attention. Was underage, blah, 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 right? Staying with my brother. Okay? Little did I know, every time I was at my brother's house, I'd see her, and she'd be there. She'd be talking because she was staying with him, okay? He had a wife already, and she was staying with him, and that's how we got to know each other. I didn't go to her, she came to me. Any other time, I was always turned down. Well, needless to say, I spent 15 years with her. That's right. She took my heart and ran off with it. That's right, and took that hammer, you see right there? And smashed the living fuck out of it. That's right. That's what she done. See, so people don't know. They don't understand. I know what it is to be a TFLer because I was 28 years old before I got me on my line. Kept getting rejected all the time. After she smashed my heart, and I was all screwed up, you know. And then I get other women, but it's a joke. It's a joke. They seen I had a kid. They don't, society tells you, oh man, if a single guy's got a kid, man, the women really like that. It's the guy that raised a kid. But see, they always tell you everything in reverse. No, women don't. Women don't want to have some of the woman's kid. Unless they aren't able to have a kid, period, they don't want some other woman's kid. So quit believing the hucky-pucky lies. Nobody has care no more. Nobody even knows what they're doing. But see, real love don't go away neither. Real love will destroy you when they do this to you. It will fuck off. Excuse my language. It will mess you up. You know, there's a saying that goes with it, and it's actually pretty true. For every year you're in love with a woman that she's no longer there, it takes 2 years to get over the hurt. Imagine that. And with me, 15 years. At 2 years, that's 30 years. That's a long time of hurting, don't you think? Yep. But don't worry, she didn't notice it. You know why? Because she's not in love with you no more. That's right. Because she moved on. That's what that comes down to. Then you get people like Girls Rights What, Karen Stroud, who comes up here and tells everybody, well, 50, 60 years ago, 90% of the population had somebody in their life. But in today's world, the majority, a significant number, that's what you might as well said, because significant stands for a high number. She said there's a significant number of men that just outright ain't effable. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And this gal claims to be speaking for men. That said this crap. See, they perceive it as normal behavior because it's social engineering. What is social engineering all about? Changing your perceptions into your beliefs. All based on garbage. Mark Passio said it best. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. That's what it's about. And I don't know what to tell people other than this is what's going on in this world. Very evil, sick world that we live in. Really is. So anyhow, so here I am on my computer. I haven't been on in 5 years. Hopefully I have my other one back tomorrow. Once they reset the BIOS, I should be back up and going again. It's crazy how this crap happens. But okay, not much I can do. I'm going to mess with the BIOS because I can wipe out my hard drive and reinstall Windows. I can do my updates and I can put all my software and my programs back in. That ain't an issue. Okay? But if you mess with the BIOS and you don't get it right, that's within DOS. Then it don't matter whether you're putting Windows 10 or whatever your operating system is, you're going to have the same issue with the graphic card and you're not going to have a picture. Okay, so that has to be taken care of because that's within the motherboard itself. So I'm not messing with that, so I took it in. All because I plugged the cord into it. I can't see frying it. I can't see frying that high dollar graphic card on plugging the cord into it, so, yep. But anyhow, so here I am. I'm glad I got a backup because I'd be offline completely without the backup. It's just I had to go through the shit of putting the OBS Studio on this PC and, doing the settings, and I can see I got it a little larger than I want, so I got to change the settings on that until I get it to where I want it. So I'll fix that later on. I mean, I'd be doing all the live stream on this computer, so I really don't care. Because when my other tower gets back, I'll disconnect this tower, put this back down where I had it, go on vacation again. Good backup, though. You was in an 8-year relationship. Oh, that sounds about right, Grim. That does. That sounds actually about right. That's what split me and her up. Was the same thing you're talking about, except for it wasn't the situation to the T. The cheating part, yes. And then the behavior was very toxic to somebody she never was before. Talked down to you, treated you lower than a piece of dirt on the ground. Made drama all day long. I remember days she'd start drama out of nothing, man. She'd just reach up her anal and pull something out to be mad at and attack you. And keep doing that all day long. Then about 11 o'clock at night, she would tell you, you've had a long day of frickin' screaming and yelling, and, it's your day off. What a day off that was, right? Okay, and you didn't do anything. She'd tell you to solve the problem. You give her an idea of what she's mad about. Nothing up, took a gun, shot you in the foot. You come up with another answer, shot you in the foot. Come up with another answer, shot you in the foot over and over. Okay? So it was intentional. And then that evening she tells me, well, we should go have fun. Yeah, we should be going and having sex to make up. Somebody treats you this way all day. You ain't going to want to go do that. What, are you nuts? Are you out of your mind? And she says to me, well, that's the way it's done on TV. Hello, social engineering. Not even a reality, living in La La Land. It does. Real love is very, very powerful. And when this happens, don't matter what your gender is. When this happens, it's not a gender issue. If it's real love, it will destroy you. Oh, yeah, well, I've seen it both ways, okay, when it comes to stealing money. Okay, I've seen this play both ways, so I don't even go there. I won't point my finger. That's the very thing that's getting us all dead, is money. This is why the majority of people speaking on the internet are using Patreon and asking for donations. And okay, they're loving their popularity and they're after the tool. But that tool is owned by the people that are doing this to us, and you're going to keep holding on to your enemy's hand and wondering why history's replaying itself. Okay, that's the reality. History is repeating itself right in your face. You're going to be the victim of the modern day Holocaust. That's what you're going to be the victim of. The new Holocaust. And they're serious about it, and they plan on reducing the population by huge numbers, and they're dead damn serious. They're not lying. It's not a joke. It's not a conspiracy theory. It is a conspiracy, though, however, because there's more than one person involved. And with the family unit, the genders broke up. That makes everybody weaker. See, that was the biggest part of NWO, the core. The core of NWO, like NWO's an app or a pair, is the dating arena. Because even the George Guidestones tells you they want to reduce the population down to 500 million, okay? Half a billion, worldwide. Now figure out the numbers you're at nowadays. If they get their wants by 2030, the majority of this world people will be dead. You don't have long to wait. You sure don't. I got a new PDF file right from the horse's mouth, the World Economic Forum, with their plans on what year and what year this and this and this and different things are going to happen. We have the guy Tesla, not the one that's dead, but the guy making the Tesla cars. He's up there giving a speech, and I just watched it, and he's got the muzzle on his face, the diaper, and he's telling everybody, okay, that the jab will not protect you, that there's going to be more of them, and that we're still going to have to wear the diaper, and there's going to be more lockdowns because it's needed, because it's got to happen. This is going to be an ongoing. But meanwhile, people are being pushed to get a jab that ain't going to protect them from what don't exist. Since the test is based on fraud, Because the creator of the test has openly said it can never be used for what they're using it for. That's correct. Since the entire thing is hocus pocus, wally-kazam, we have lied to you because they've never isolated it. That's right, it's never been isolated. They have no proof of anything ever being isolated. And they created a jab for something that didn't exist. And the reality it is the money that's getting us all dead. Because the people behind it own the money. They're the same people that killed JFK. Because he wanted to take the monetary system and give it back to the people of America. In doing so, of course, well, we know what JFK's outcome was. The money, the tool, is the root. It's what's keeping you all enslaved, and it's also what's killing you. And you know what's funny? You're going to labor your ass to death for that tool that they do nothing. They don't even back it with gold or silver. No need. Hyperinflation's a joke. You can't hyperinflate something that's backed by nothing. All a man-made construct that won't keep you alive, but it will get you dead. But meanwhile, you got all these people up here thinking they're fighting back, man. Look at the high-impact flicks. He makes some videos all the time. He's such a good speaker, and he shows you all this stuff. Oh, and he shoved all of his advertisements in your face just like Alex Jones. I've even heard high-impact flicks say that he can't do no more, guys, but I don't get some donations or sales going here. I don't promise I can be up here to tell you the truth if I don't get some of my enemies. There you go. He's holding their hands. You can't beat them. You've joined them. So you got to take it away from them. You know, the First Amendment auditors, the sad thing about that is nobody stood up when their television set and their courtrooms and their lawyers started telling them they were in a democracy. Nobody ever caught it. They just all went along with it like they always do. They didn't question them. And if their teacher in school said we were in a democracy and somebody said no, it's a republic, they told you they're the same. And nobody looked into it. Well, the difference between a democracy and a republic is in a republic, you can't change the Bill of Rights or Constitution. It's to be unchanged. It's inalienable. But in a democracy, the lawmakers can vote them away. Now, why don't you go look at your Constitution and Bill of Rights and look at all the amendments, all the changes? How do you suppose that happened? Because you accepted democracy. The lie, you bought into it, you drunk your Kool-Aid. So here these First Amendment auditors think they're standing up for their Bill of Rights and Constitution. If you don't exercise your muscles, man, you get weak. You got to exercise that First Amendment, man, or we're going to lose it. You've already lost it. They've already passed the bill to do away with it. It's sitting in the House, already voted for it, all 9 yards. See, they're passing all these laws right under your back, right behind your back to do away with all of your rights, your Bill of Rights and your Constitution. They're just not telling you. What's really going on is the auditors are helping them with their agenda. That agenda is called civil unrest. The law enforcement, I don't care if it's Highway Patrol, FBI, U.S. Marshal's Office, local police station, highway trooper, the training they get is exactly the way they act. It's no accident. They are trained this way. And if they get a good guy that comes along that's not willing to be an order follower, well, their job won't last very long. This ain't like it was years ago. No, you got the wrong timing. I'm not answering that. Anyhow. Oh, well, I'm just not taking it. That's how that works. They ain't putting that in me for nothing. Anybody goes and gets it, as far as I'm concerned, is a complete idiot. Didn't look into a damn thing. Just believe whatever's hand fed to them, and they're going to deserve what they get too. I hate to say it, but they are, because everything you need is here. I took that invisible enemy back 31 years in research. No lie. That invisible enemy that came at us in 2020 was planned 31 years ago. I don't care what anybody says. I do my homework. This is no accident. This is NWO. It ain't going away. It's only going to get worse. And only if we stop fighting one another and stand together, which ain't going to happen, can we stop them. Oh, but they got, well, their military is from who? Us, the people. Their power, where do they get their power from? Us. One more time. Stop listening. It's that simple. Nobody wants to do that, right? I don't know. This is like telling people they need to back up, self-check themselves and their own behaviors. If you're in a relationship with a woman or she's in it with a man, you both got to check your own behaviors. He's not your boss and she's not yours. You don't have to think with her brain and she don't have to think with yours. You're supposed to like each other for who each other is, not who you want them to be. It's not about usury. Nope, sure ain't. And it takes 50-50. And if you do something that hurts her, or she does something that hurts you, she has to be willing to think about what she done. And think about if it was reversed, how she would feel. He has to be willing to do the same thing. Then when you think about how you'd feel it was done to you, then you realize, oh man, I should have done that. Okay, that's really where that comes from. Okay, so what's optional? It's telling me my resolution ain't correct, okay? So let me see what the option on that is. Okay. I'll have to go look at that, but I'm not doing that now. That'll be done after the live stream's over. Okay, it's telling me my resolution's at the wrong setting. By the time I go look, probably won't be done another live stream on this PC anyhow. I'll be back on my other one. But if for some reason I am, I'll just fix it over here. No big deal. I already know I got some tweaking to do anyhow. All I can tell people, man, is anybody that goes and gets that damn thing is a complete fool. Yeah, they really are. They're a complete fool. They have no idea. You're going to take something like that for something that don't exist and can concretely be proven it don't exist? You think the flu disappeared in 2020 because it just vanished off the face of the earth? No, it got a new name. Lots of things got a new name during 2020. Yep. To create the invisible enemy that don't exist. Yep, so that's sort of how that goes. You know, it's just one of them things. Here we go. Took care of that problem. Yep, didn't even say a thing. Just said bye. That's how that works. Bye-bye. I don't play games with people like that. They were loving it. They were loving it. But people already know what I do at Trolls. And I don't care how many accounts you got. It takes me 2 seconds to take you out. No big deal. That's how I feel about that. It takes me 2 seconds to remove you. Take you longer to create more accounts than it will take me to take you out. You won't bother me at all. I'm too old to care about my survival plan. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm speaking for everybody else. See, I actually have real care. And I actually care about men and women both. I actually care about what's right for everybody so that everybody could have a good life. That nobody would have to go through what we go through. But most people don't care about everybody. They don't care about nobody but their own selfishness. And a lot of people want to think they need to be a god. They need to be above somebody else. We have control freaks everywhere. You didn't think what they're praying and you're wrong. Even if they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And most people, information comes from their television set to begin with. Which means they're clueless to what's going on around them. Bill don't care. See, Bill will die on his feet like a man instead of a coward on my knees. I don't know where you think you're going to run anyhow. It's just the stupidity of people. What's your survival plan when there is no food and your power is shut off and it don't last just a couple of days? What is your survival plan when all of your neighbors ain't got no food and a bunch of them have kids to feed and the stores are empty and rioting's going on and home invasions are going on to find food? Because you can't eat your gold or silver and you can't eat your green paper. You can't eat your quarters, dimes, and nickels and pesos and whatever else you got, your euros. No, you can't eat it. Your squid, don't matter where you're at. That won't keep you alive. You're going to need a roof over your head. Depending on where you're at, you might need heat during the winter. You're going to need water. You're going to need food. What happens when all of them things are taken away from you? Oh, they'll never do that. I know that's what people are going to say. They've already got all the executive orders in spot. They already have everything under their control. And yes, they will. This is a genocide program. This is part of genocide program. This is the new modern day Holocaust that's getting ready to come down on you. This is history replaying itself, but this time on a global scale. That's right. This time on a global scale. That's the only difference. And for people who don't want to believe that, you cannot help people who refuse to help themselves. Well, hello, Mr. There, armchair, revolutionary guy there. Yep, I know who that guy is, yep. I thought you'd be working. You must be on lunch break. No. Dream on, man. Dream on. It wasn't that long ago. I got a couple people who think in Russia, and one didn't know, it was going by the other person, that Russia was going to be a good spot. And then recently they found out that, oh no, Bill was right. Well, of course I am. What do you think NWO is? If you want to get away from me, you got to leave planet Earth. So unless you got a spaceship that you can jump in and get off here and your name is Captain Kirk and you have the Starship Enterprise, or unless you're the cartoon Jetsons, man, are you George Jetson? You ain't running from this. You are not running from this. Your worst enemy will be your neighbors. It'll be the people in your own community. Why? Simple. When there is no food and water to be had, people are going to do whatever it takes. If that means kicking in your door, coming through your windows, armed and ready to go, and not caring about taking you out and not to lunch, because they got children that need to eat, that need something to drink. You stocked up. You was ready for it when it came. Well, see, have a true understanding. Be ready to die on your feet fighting back. That's all you can do. Be ready to give your life up fighting for what's right. See, I'm not scared of that. I don't care. I really don't. See, I've been on this planet 60 years now, and I have a bad ticker, bad lungs, a bad back. I know I'm on a time limit to how long I'll be here anyhow. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm just outright is not afraid of dying. If you come through my door, I'm going to fight back, even if I can't fucking do a lot and I'm outnumbered. It doesn't matter. I'll do what I have to do, and you'll carry my corpse out the door. That's how that'll be. And if I can take one or two of you fools with you before I go, you'll be going with me. Hope you enjoy it. Because you'd be Nazis to come through my door. You'd be committing tyranny to come through my door. You'd be a terrorist. Human beings don't have a right to do that to other people, but human beings think they do because they're all on a power trip. They're all running on a man-made construct. Look at these truthers. Look how they handle it. They're up here speaking out, and I've got to go to Patreon to finish watching it. If you want to know the rest, come to Patreon and start giving me some money. That's right. Or buy me this and buy me that because I've got to hold on to the Rothschild's hand. Yep, I got to hold on to the hand of my enemy, the person that's doing this to me. Yep, I'm going to hold their hand right to the cliff and I'm going to fall to my death. Rather than take it away from them is exactly what should have happened. That's right. They need to lose it. All of them do. The people who own the monetary system worldwide need to be taken out of position, locked up, and key thrown away. The bloodlines, well, give them some blood. In the same place you put the banksters. Banksters and the bloodlines. And then the puppeteers who come down the line and wanted to freaking commit treason against their own people for that tool. And didn't care who they were hurting and whose life was going to end as long as they were living a successful lifestyle. Yep, no care whatsoever. So they need to go too. If you don't fight back, you lose everything. Everything. And if you think the World Economic Forum was joking when they said you're going to own nothing and be happy with it? BS! I've been telling people and telling people and telling people, but nobody wants to look. In the manosphere, it's hard-pressed to find somebody that'll look and actually pay attention. Most of the manosphere is angry men with justified reason, whose lives was destroyed from not being able to get one date in their life, not understanding what they were asking to get themselves into when men and women in today's world, neither party, know what the hell they're doing. There's very few women and very few men left in this world that's on the level I am that knows what the hell they're doing. Okay, and these are the relationships that last and last and last in most cases. But social engineering is messing up for us people that know what we're doing. Because their partner didn't know what they were doing, and their partner didn't have remorse, and their partner wouldn't back up and think about anything more than themselves. They wouldn't even examine their own behaviors. And that's coming from men and women both. Well, if you call between now and 2030 a slow dial, good luck for you, huh? That's how that one goes. And if you're fearful of what I'm talking about, well, you're one of the reasons it's happening. Because that would be a true coward. Okay? Because the reality is the coward will be running and not fighting back. The man or the woman, they may understand that they may lose their life fighting back, but they'll still fight back because they know if they don't, they're still going to lose their life. That's what people don't get. They're dead damn serious with what they're doing. And when they want the population reduced to the numbers they want it reduced, your chances of survival are going to be slim. Because most people are just following orders for the tool. And they already don't have care. So it's not going to be hard for them to do this. Not at all, not in today's world. It's quite easy for them to do it. They've been doing a successful job since 2020. And they were doing a successful job long before 2020. If you really want to get technical. But if you believe the government's here to look out for you, man, you're asleep. If you believe there's a right or a left, Republican or Democrat, you're nuts. You don't know what you're talking about. You bought the Kool-Aid, drunk the Kool-Aid, and all over the Kool-Aid, don't you? Yeah, I agree. Grimm's freaking pretty smart, man. I like Grimm. Don't even know him, but I like him. At least this is a guy that's freaking awake. That understands. See, there is none of this stuff of peer porn. There really isn't. Yeah, I don't blame you for being scared, but I'm not telling you lies. I'm telling you facts. That's just the way it is, man. Your Constitution and Bill of Rights have been changed on you. That's why they have the amendments. And how did that happen? You accepted it. You accepted that you were living in a democracy. That's how that happened. You was never living in a democracy. Play of words once again. And nobody understanding what them play of words for and why they did it. Everybody just going along to go along. I mean, the reality is, unfortunately, yeah, it's a scary thing that's going on, but it's this way because we've allowed it to get this way. And we cannot change it unless we get our heads out of our you-know-what. And you're not going to do that unless you start getting real care back and stop pointing your fingers at your other gender or your other race. So long as you're going to point your fingers at another man or another woman's skin color, where they're from, and you have a problem with that, you're part of the problem because you drunk your Kool-Aid. And if you think you're above somebody else, you're part of the problem. You drunk the Kool-Aid. If you have to have more of the tool, you're holding the people who's doing this to your hand. And they're leading you to the cliff to drop you off on your head. And you just hold your hand, go right along with them. Yep, that's what's going on there. It's sad. It really is. It's sad how people hurt each other and then just move on. Move on to the next person you can victimize, and then blame them. Now there's the yeah. You're the villain and the victim, ain't you? That's right. You can destroy your person's life that loves you because they love you. Yep. And then play the victim role. You run out and cheat. It's all their fault that they got mad. It's all their fault that they freaking called you out for your behavior. It's all their fault that they were upset and hurt when you loved them and they cheated on you. It has to be your fault. You said something to me that offended me. Now I'm going to hold that against you and I'm going to blame. That's right. And I'm going to blame the person I victimized. Because I don't have remorse and I don't have care and I don't use my brain. Yeah, well, law of the jungle is what you call social engineering. The law of the jungle is going to get many people dead for no good reason other than mankind failed to grow the hell up. That's really what that comes down to. And these First Amendment auditors you're seeing everywhere, congratulations, you're helping civil unrest and don't even know you are. You think you're going to make the cops accountable. You think you're going to blah, blah, blah. You're looking to make it, and you're looking to your Constitution that you lost. These cops ain't doing this. This is no accident, man. These cops are trained. They're not acting out. They're not acting the way they are because they wasn't better. They're just bullies and idiots. No, 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 no. They are idiots. I'll give you that. They absolutely have no care. And yes, they are bullies, but they were trained to act this way. Sad. And then they just follow it, man. Orders followers to the tool. Orders followers to the tool. Yep. Don't care whose life we destroy as long as I have my tool. I can buy my nice big house and have my nice cars. Yeah. And what are you going to do when they pull the plug? Because they're going to. They've been putting it right in your face. Tell you something else. My gut's been screaming it since I've seen it happen. And I follow my gut. Because so far my gut's never lied to me. And my gut tells me the collapse of the building up there in Florida wasn't a sinkhole. Nope, wasn't a sinkhole. It was man done. I think maybe there was somebody or somebody's living in that condo that they needed to get rid of, take out, not to lunch. And they didn't care about taking everybody that lived there out because, after all, what do we know about the Great Reset? What do? We have to first tear down to build the new. We need population reduction. So let's tear down, get a few less people around, and take out the people that are in our way. And we'll just lie to the world like we always do. But my gut tells me that building didn't just collapse. Nope. Nope, sorry, don't buy it. My gut also tells me it wasn't a sinkhole. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's where we're at. That's my gut feeling telling me that. I normally follow my gut because my gut don't let me down. And since the day I've seen that report, I've been watching this, and my gut's been screaming at me. They're lying. What's new? What's new? Uh-huh. People are going to be eating their pets. People are going to be looking and starving and fucking all. They're going to be in bad shape, bad shape. You can be drove back to the 1700s. You ain't got no electricity, you ain't got no heat, you ain't got no food. And you ain't going to have no survival skills. And even if you had survival skills and you get out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to be on land that they're claiming is theirs. So they're going to have their technology and satellites and know you're there. And the land has been poisoned with the chemtrails. So good luck. And any seed you buy in the store is going to be GMO. And most people don't know how to grow their own food, let alone can it, and know how much to can and have a way of doing it. And how you going to do that when you got no utilities? You're going to have to do it the old way. You're going to have to get a canner and have it. You're going to have to have a campfire. And you're going to have to be able to catch your game and grow your garden. And you're going to have all these canning jars you won't have. See what I mean? Because you got to figure out a way to make that meat last. You got to figure out a way to make that food get through the cold months. Or they will find you dead. Because gold and silver wasn't the answer that kept you alive. Money was never the answer that kept you alive. Because failing to have fresh water and food to eat, well, we all know the results of that, right? Right? And no shelter over your head in the wrong area. Uh-huh. Don't think they don't know this already? Oh, yes, they do. Buy the cans, get ready to guard them, okay? Buy things that'll keep. Buy rice, buy beans, uncooked beans, of course, and start saving water up the yin yang while you can. And then cross your fingers that you can keep it when shit gets bad, because people are going to bring, once shit really gets nasty, no, you got a neighbor down the road that's got fucking 3, 4 kids to eat, feed, and ain't got no water or food. They're going to get desperate, man. They're going to get so desperate they're going to be breaking in home after home looking for, and they'll be willing to kill you to take what you have. They don't care. The purge! Right in your face. And believe me, they'll let it happen. They won't have no problems with that. They'll order law enforcement to stand down, just like they did up there in Washington last year when they put that right in your face. You think that police department just abandoned it there and stood down for no reason? No, they were ordered to. And the order followers followed the orders. They wasn't scared of the rioters, the protesters. No, they wasn't. They were really wanting to keep it. They just brought in the National Guard, more troops. No big deal. They didn't do that, did they? No. They showed you. They were putting it in your face. Okay? The same thing they did, we were walking through Hollywood, the government place called Walmart. Yep. And the last 2 times I've been in there, guess what I found on their shelf? I've only seen it online. But now I'm seeing it in a very low supply. Small containers. Yeah. Plastic buckets. That's written on it. Yeah. And the label tells you what it is. It's survival food. The same stuff you see in Alex Jones and Richie from Boston and all these others selling. Yep, they put it in Walmart. Well, how did that happen? Because they're laughing at you while they're telling you. They're literally telling you that they're going to be cutting the supply chain and that the stores are going to go empty and you're not going to have no food. They're showing you it. Why do you think they put survival food in Walmart? See, so they're throwing it right in your face. And how many people will be awake enough to recognize that and walk by that? I'll bet you more will walk by it than more that would pick it up and buy it. No lie. That's how I would bet on that. I really would. I would bet on that. But there's nothing I can do about that. But anyhow, guys, I came up here, been up here a little over an hour. But I did want to jump up here and have this rant. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about the dating scene and our behaviors. I wanted men and women alike to know. This is the reason I say in the dating arena when they tell you to move on. Really what they're telling you is don't look back. Don't pay attention to what you just did to somebody you claimed you loved. Because if they really loved you, when you do this to them, you're crushing them. You're taking a hammer. You're hurting them deeply, big time. And none of you care. You think it's a power trip. Yep, it's a power trip. Man, I hurt them. I feel big. I feel tough. Yeah, I hope you enjoy falling off the cliff, landing on your head and sharp rocks. Because they feel tough too. But they're tougher than you. Because they're the people that own your ass. Excuse my language. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. And you all have a good one.